staying. Thank you for staying. So I try to find ways to entertain myself, and recently I've taken a very strong interest in mountain climbing. It's not that I really find that interest in climbing so much as I am incredibly fascinated by the concept of planting a flag on something very tall. I think friends are important. I have this one really good friend. He's a jazz drummer, and he's also an expert at computer programming. You may have heard of him, Algorithms.
Oh my god.
I had a job I really wasn't too crazy about. I quit recently. I was working as this one corporate executive's right-hand man, but it was a really crappy job. You had to bring your own Kleenex. So we're in Stockholm. Stockholm, the capital of Sweden. And we're at the Nobel Prize Committee. Hushes over the crowd because they're about to announce the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize. So the speaker gets to the podium, he says, "The winner of the Nobel Peace Prize, Vladimir Putin." Hush falls over the crowd. Finally, a reporter asks up, "Sir, how is it possible you could award the Nobel Peace Prize to Vladimir Putin?" And he's like, "Well, haven't you been following over the past couple years? He took a piece of Georgia, a piece of Ukraine, and he's looking at a piece of Estonia right now." You know, some days you wake up is a pretty good way to describe narcolepsy. I like to prepare my work as much as I can, and I know a lot of other artists, and I was really wondering, do you think writers and other artists in the ancient world kept around note scrolls? Like, just imagine maybe that's why like stand-up comedy took so long to evolve. Just like, I got a great idea, hold on a second. Oh shit, this is the wrong side. I'm going to break it down a little serious with you for a minute. So probably if any of you follow the news, you know there's a little bit of social unrest going on in our country right now. Kind of came to head in Baltimore last week, over the summer came to head in Ferguson, and it very well may happen in another city over the next few months. But what always gets to me is any time, no matter what, whenever they're covering political unrest, they always interview the same person. And they're always like, "Well, look, I can understand why demonstrators might be a little agitated, but I can't really support the destruction of blah, 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 blah. I'm not a racist, blah, 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 blah. But what's wrong with using the term thug? Blah, 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 blah." And these people you meet, they're always like, you know, they're against property destruction, but they're for this. And these are always usually the same people who raised all of us to venerate the Boston Tea Party. You remember the Boston Tea Party? When a bunch of poor Americans, angry at poor government policy as well as multiple violent actions by the police which were never prosecuted, decided to destroy some private property? Remember that?
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking that in like 200 years, maybe, in the People's República de America, they'll be venerating the heroes of Baltimore and Ferguson.
Yeah.
I got a question for you folks. What is the difference between Iran and Germany? You see, in Iran, for no reason, you can be dragged off the street, handcuffed, blindfolded, thrown into an isolated location and beaten severely. And in Germany, you got to pay about 100 euros an hour for that sort of treatment. One of my favorite things about Germany is, I don't want you to just think they're just perverts, there's a lot of really cool words in the German language. There's actually a word, Schildewald, which means forest of signs. Basically it means a road, because the Germans are so polite, probably the most polite people you'll ever meet. Like if you jaywalk in Germany, people will come across the street and go, "Sir, but the crosswalk was only 25 meters over there. Are you having difficulty seeing? Perhaps we should take you to an optometrist. There are many fine ones here in Deutschland." So they have a word Schilderwald, where it means a road which has so many signs on it that you are unsure of which to obey. This is a problem for Germans. It's like some German is just getting into work. "Klaus, why are you late?" "Well, I'm very sorry, Mr. Schwanzkaput." Some people here know German. That is was, I was driving and there were so many different signs. It was almost like I was trapped in a forest, but not a forest of beautiful trees, a forest of inefficient metal and plastic signs. If only there was a word to describe the situation. Well, I want to thank you folks very much for your time. I can get just one more second for all of you, just one more second. As you probably know, I'm a comedian. A lot of people in New Jersey, a lot of basement shows really have not been cool with giving comedy a chance. So I just want to give a thanks to David and Nick. Thank you for giving comedy a chance here, helping us out.